I have not done an angry rant on this channel, not since I last published a video on the Chelsea flower show, but I have a visceral hatred for all things No Mow May. No! That's right, hatred. I have 5 extremely good reasons for my tangible hatred for all things No Mow May. And one of these things is an absolutely massive elephant in the room. God knows why this wasn't spotted before they even come up with the whole idea. The whole idea is completely retarded. No, I said the idea was retarded. I didn't say the people behind the idea was retarded. Anyway, I'm not the kind of person who just pulls up problems. I also have the solution as to what you should be doing in No Mow May. And it's nothing to do with not mowing your lawns. God, you're so lazy. Not you. Yeah, I know you're good. But you lot over there, I can see you. Laziness. If you want my opinion, no thanks, Monty, then I am all for protecting our native wildlife and their habitats. So I love No Mow May. In fact, I go further. I don't cut my lawns until the end of June, and even then it's only to create a path so I can walk through my long grass. Shut it, Montague. You're just perpetuating a fallacy. Aww. The first thing that I hate about No Mow May is that it is all so performative. And not only that, by not mowing, you can actually cause more problems than you would have done if you had mowed. And then you get the virtual signalling wokies that come up to you when you're mowing a lawn. And they go, don't you know it's May? Shouldn't be mowing in May. Shouldn't be mowing in May. You just want to give them a right old slap around the face. Of course, I would never do that. We don't condone violence here. Anyway, this leads me quite nicely on to the other 4 reasons. The true, genuine reasons as to why you shouldn't be doing the old No Mow May. It will make sense when I finish, and you will probably end up being as angry as I am. This is the second flipping reason, and it's the elephant one. It's the elephant one, honestly. Flipping ridiculous. So, this is probably my biggest issue, and that is to do with the people at No Mow May saying, don't cut your lawns in May. It's such an important time for the insects. They get valuable pollen and nectar, and it gives them a habitat so they can breed. Let's go into that a little bit deeper, shall we? And this part is going to be about the pollen and the nectar. You do realise that grass is wind pollinated. It doesn't produce nectar. It has absolutely no benefit whatsoever to beneficial pollinating insects. Did you not do basic biology at your junior school? Any flipping gardener could have told you this. No benefit. You're talking out your eyeball. I said eyeball instead of the real word. It's going to lead me straight on to the third thing, which is about habitat. Habitat for insects. I'll tell you about an insect that likes living in long grass, shall I? I'll tell you. That's right. Ticks like living in long grass. In fact, they love it. And do you know what else ticks love to do? They love biting people and passing on diseases like Lyme's disease. And do you like dogs? Do you? Do you like dogs?
Actually, I really love my dogs and cows.
Shut up, Monty. No one's talking to you. Dogs also get Lyme's disease. And there's more, because ticks also pass on a rather nasty disease onto dogs, a word I can't pronounce, but it's just here. There you go. Think about that with your flipping long grass. This talk about dogs brings me quite nicely to reason number 4. It's as though I actually spent time thinking about this. If you live in an area with a left-wing council and they subscribe to the No Mow May way of thinking, it's not thinking, you might find that they've stopped mowing, and that means all of your verges are starting to grow long. And that causes a problem because as the grass grows longer, you can't see what's in the grass. So if you stand on your verges for whatever reason, it doesn't matter. You could also be standing on some dog poop. Not your dog poop. I know you pick it up, but other people don't. And it's not very nice to be walking around in some long grass, squelching your way over copious amounts of dog messages. Nobody wants to see that. What are you looking at, stupid cat? If you look at a lawn that has not been subjected to lawn treatments specifically for weeds, you'll find you'll have a range of fairly standard weeds in your lawn. You're talking about Bellis perennis, which is your daisy. You're looking at dandelions. You're looking at lamium. There's plenty to see. There's plenty of weeds that grow in your lawn and are quite happy being cut back every week, once every 2 weeks. They'll bounce back, keep flowering. All is good. And while all these plants in your lawns are flowering, they'll be attracting beneficial insects to the lawn, taking the nectar. They have found their niche. Now, if you stop cutting your lawns, the lawns will grow, and these lawn flowers, I was going to say weeds, but going to change it for flowers. We like changing the meanings of words. They won't be able to compete with the long grass. It will outshade them, outcompete them. They will fail. You will no longer have these little rosette style of flowers in your lawn. So by allowing the lawn to grow, you've stopped the availability of nectar, of pollen to your beneficial native pollinated insects because you've been lazy and stopped mowing your lawn. We all know you're using it as an excuse to make yourself look better and at the same time not do any flipping work. So there you go. That's my rant over. But you can be looking after your beneficial native pollinating insects, and you can be providing plenty of habitat in your garden, just not this way. This is what you should be doing. If you want a romantic flowering meadow in the summer with bees and other insects flying around, getting in your face, biting your arms, just letting your lawn grow isn't going to do that. You need to bin your lawn and then re-sow with a wild meadow seed packet mix. That way you can grow all the pretty flowers that you like and you don't have to mow them. All these flowers will be rich in nectar, producing copious amounts of food for your insects and a bounty for all the other insects like your ticks to live inside its thatch. Should you wish to just leave it turn to a complete flipping mess, then at the end of the year you cut it all back down, chuck it in the composter. You don't feed it. These plants require a nutrient poor soil, and come the spring you re-sow, let it grow again. Now you're thinking, why do I need to re-sow it? It can naturally chuck seeds around and regrow from there because they're all in competition with each other, and some of these are going to outcompete the others. Give it a few years, you probably have like the one plant left. Let me just say, if you stopped maintaining your garden, stopped maintaining your lawns, what do you think you're going to get? A lovely meadow? No. There are two things that grow well in this country, and these two plants are going to overtake your garden within a couple of years. What am I talking about? I'm talking about brambles. I am talking about lovely, stingy nettles. If it's good enough for the Romans, it's good enough for us. You know they love stingy nettles. So there you go. Those are my reasons why I hate No Mow May. Hopefully you agree with me. You don't have to, it's a free world. But if you've got any comments and you want to add them here, stick them into the comment section. We would genuinely love to hear from you. That's it, rant over. Thanks for watching. Goodbye. Stupid cows.